From Los Angeles, live on tape, it's the Dennis Miller Show. Tonight, John Larroquette, Amanda Plummer, Greg T. Nelson, Andy Summers, and the Soporifics. And now, it's him.
Nick, how are you? What'd you do this weekend?
Oh, I kind of laid low. I was thinking about seeing a flick, but I didn't get out. What'd you do?
Saw Kafka, and good film. Get off your shell, crawl across the floor to see this film. And, you know, they had a trailer for the new Sly Stallone, Estelle Getty film, Stop or My Mum Will Shoot You. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, pretty exciting stuff. And, at one point in the trailer, Estelle Getty actually, as Stallone's mother says, "Let's get those turkeys." So, obviously the gloves are off in this one, huh? Don't you love it when they, don't you love it when they have to sanitize the, language in these movies? They have like a Colombian drug lord saying, "Dag nabbit, this has been stepped on," you know? All right, what's in the news, folks? Zsa Zsa Gabor, 75 years old this week. And, you know, that's a lot of years to not have a clue. So, I think we really... And it's Dan Quayle's birthday tomorrow. But, you know, when you look into Quayle's eyes, you get the feeling the candles were blown out a long time ago. It's just... over the weekend, George Bush and Boris Yeltsin met at Camp David. Yeltsin said the meeting went well and that Bush and he are calling each other Boris and George now, as opposed to a few weeks ago when they were calling each other Drunky and Pukey, which... two of the 7 dwarfs in NATO. A poll, a recent poll, no doubt, of 1,000 Americans found that 58% think that Bush's economic plan is a gimmick, and the other 42% couldn't be reached because their phones had been disconnected. And, joke made me so nervous, I did this 4 times during it. Good news. Use of illegal drugs amongst high school seniors is down 25% since 1988. Yeah. The bad news is the reason it's down is that most high school seniors are so bad at math they are unable to make an illegal drug transaction. No, I'm kidding. It's down because they're wising up. Good for you, kids. I felt like I was at a 4-H show there for a second. A new poll suggested about 1 in 4 people won't vote for Bill Clinton if he was unfaithful to his wife. Coincidentally, another poll suggests that 1 in 4 people have actually had sex with Bill Clinton. So, kind of a mathematic consistency there. And I read today that the McDonald's Corporation, this is unbelievable to me. This is why the country screwed up. McDonald's got $465,000 last year from the Department of Agriculture to help them promote Chicken McNuggets in foreign markets. Gave them $465,000. McDonald's officials picked up the money at the new drive-through kickback window at the federal office building in Washington. You want fries with that ripoff? The new trend in health news is the Nicoderm smoking cessation patches. Have you seen these? This is a patch you put on your body. It leaches nicotine into your system to help you stop craving the urge to smoke. Now, California already has announced the first no patch section in many of its restaurants because we here in California are a multifaceted mix of many cultures and backgrounds, and you see, we need all sorts of different bugs up our asses here. Thank you. I appreciate it. I watched Anita Hill on 60 Minutes last night. Did you see Anita? Kind of bright, charming. I still think something happened there. Maybe I'm naive, but I think something went down. And Clarence Thomas said he didn't even see the show. He said he and his wife rented a movie for the evening. And, yeah. Groundhog Day on Sunday. The groundhog popped out of its hole with a sign saying, "I'll work for food." And, this is tough. This is tough. And finally, today, we began sending Haitians back to Haiti. You know, as soon as we wrap up that sad chore, we should bend to the simpler task of rewriting the motto on the Statue of Liberty. Maybe we should make it, "Send us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses." Not! We've got a great show for you. John Larroquette, Craig T. Nelson, Amanda Plummer.
This portion of the Dennis Miller Show is brought to you by Zest Deodorant Bar. You're not fully clean until you're zestfully clean.
I don't know anybody who saw the show Friday. I've decided that from now on I'm going to have the applause thing right here so I can signal for it myself when I feel I need it. Yeah. Welcome to Walden 3. I'm your counselor, BF. Well, Boris Yeltsin's stunning rise to power was evident this weekend when he visited President Bush at Camp David. Let's go behind the scenes and take a look at Boris Yeltsin's Filofax from this historic weekend. All right, 9 a.m., you got that? 9 a.m., write Inkhead next to Gorbachev's name in guest book. 9:30 a.m., give President Japan Sucks t-shirt. Noon, lunch, slip plastic vomit on George's plate. Now, this next one's scratched out, but I think it says, ask Bush for tips on stimulating the economy. But, at 2 o'clock, change complex nuke launch codes to easy to remember 90210. Yeah. Shannon, I'm out to get you. All right, 2:30, admit to being powerless over alcohol. 7 o'clock, play I've Got Your Nose with Vice President Quayle. 8:30 p.m., packed house from Camp David Guest House. 10:30 p.m., chase Barber around gazebo and Nixon mask. 11 o'clock, do Bush impression on front lawn and pants leg. And 11:01, pass out on the helipad. And there's Boris Yeltsin. Yeah. I've got something new on my hair tonight, and it's not really working. It's called, gee, your hair smells like hair. Well, I made it through 2 weeks of sesquipedalian banter with minor bruises and lacerations to my cerebellum. Still, going to a psychiatrist might be an option for me in these stressful times. It is the topic for tonight's For and Against. The case for going to a psychiatrist, people are very supportive when you admit you are seeking help. Against, they tell everyone they ever knew. Case 4, it allows you to fill in the gaps in your development. Against, you completely miss the anal phase and must spend the next 3 years catching up on the Isle of Mykonos. Yeah. Somebody summered in the islands, yeah. The case 4, going to a psychiatrist, you get to lie on a couch. Against, he asks if he can join you. 4, you unlock forgotten passages of your childhood. Against, they all involve your Uncle Cappy. 4, you get to keep a journal of your dreams. Against, that recurrent chainsaw theme. The case 4, his only request is that you be totally honest. The case against, he gets all weird when you tell him about the collection of psychiatrist skulls in your root cellar. Case 4, no matter what you've done in the past, he validates your behavior. Against, he never validates your parking. Case 4, he encourages you to break away from your sick codependent relationship. Against, you leave your wife and he starts dating her. And finally, the case 4, going to a psychiatrist, you learn who you really are. Against, they don't make camisoles in your size. We'll be right back with John Larroquette after this. Welcome back. As my depressed Mexican friend says, miasma, suasma. My first guest has won 4 Emmys, playing Dan Fielding, the unctuous toady. And I love saying the word unctuous. Say it with me, the unctuous. Yeah. The unctuous toady on Night Court. Please welcome, I gotta get this name right, because I know him, he's a friend, and I always screw it up, John Larroquette.
This is great.
I haven't seen you.
I'm a creep, and I don't care about other people's lives, so I didn't send you anything when you started this, but congratulations. Let me say that.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming clean with the public about being a creep. Now, John...
This is like, I mean, the Green Brothers' idea of a fantasy room, right? Stickley and Frank Lloyd Wright would get into this place and just have a blast, wouldn't they? This is wonderful stuff.
There's like Joel Silver and Louis Anderson get that, and everybody else is thinking, who's that, the neighbor on Bewitched?
I have a lot of this same kind of stuff.
Do you?
It's great stuff. Yeah, the chair's a little weird, but it's fine.
I know. We've been having trouble with the chair. What do you, if you're an aficionado, what should I do to fix this?
Just push this a little forward a little bit so that you're not quite sitting at this angle here.
All right. From a man intimately acquainted with the wiles of gynecology, Dan Fielding. Now, I haven't seen you since the desert. We were out there doing a little piece of magic. My film debut.
It was so...
Madhouse!
You know, I don't know if...
It is wacky. They love this in it.
An actor's actor,
yeah.
Dennis Miller. Sort of like Mickey Rourke was in Body Heat. I mean, that intensity, that charisma that just bounced off. It was great. And we had a lot of fun out there. But,
right.
And you and I saw the film. That was a...
Well, actually, I had always talked about, I decried films, and then I started to feel like a jerk for saying that, because I'd never done one. You were nice enough. I think you might have pulled some strings there, because I have no thespian background. And I came out and acted. I had like 4 lines. I was like, oh, I was your office crony, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were a peer, and actually you pulled us out of the morass of the backyard. That time you saved my life.
Yeah,
yes.
I would run back and go, Dan, get it together.
He was very good.
Cut! Cut! Then I'd go back to the trailer and bemoan my fate. But we had a good time out there.
I certainly did. I had a great time with you. So, what else? What are you doing?
Your last year, man? Is this thing going to end finally?
I don't know. You know, there was actually a philosophical discussion of that today on the set.
Oh, you were actually taping today?
No, rehearsing. Today's our first day of the week, so we just actually read the script today. You know, I don't know. Nobody has said yes. Nobody has said no. It's iffy, I think, though, that it would be. It's extremely expensive. It's not, you know, it's getting kind of old. It's like your granddad. You don't mind him in the house, but you don't have to see him all the time.
Right. Well, I heard a rumor that if it does come back, you're going to replace Haas.
But I...
Oh, wait, that was Bonanza. Sorry. Richard Mall?
Oh, really? Did you hear this? I didn't hear this.
No,
I don't think he's irreplaceable. Richard Mall is irreplaceable.
Big Dick Mall.
Yeah, until the next ice age, anyway. And he likes to be called that Big Dick Mall.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen.
Would you like to do it again?
No.
It's a great gig. No? You burn out?
No, I'm not supposed to say that, I guess, is the political stance. But I don't, you know, my greed factor is obviously working overtime with it. But I think that after 9 years, it's been extremely, you know, all the advantages of it, all of the accolades and the money and the security and the character has been great to do. But after a while, what are you doing except just sort of like Lulu? Every week you're drawn the same way, you know? I mean, after a while it gets to be infuriating as an actor, which is, nobody cares about that. If it's funny on the air, it's funny, and it is usually funny, but it's time to move on, I think.
Well, I think people dig that you're that forthcoming about stuff. I knew if I'd asked you, is it time for you to go, and you thought it was, you'd tell me. A lot of people would do the smoke and mirror thing.
Oh, no, I can't. You know,
you got that honesty jag in you, don't you?
I know, it's a curse, you know. It's really, in many ways, is because it's the truth, you know. I don't see the way that other people see. I mean, I'm talking about if you're in a show, the way America, or the way the public views you. I mean, you're in this real time warp. There's no real life going on. There's that character. But as the actor, you know, I have to get into him every day.
Right.
And after a while, I just want to punch the son of a bitch. You know, I don't. Because he's a great character to do, but after a while, as an actor, you go, now what?
Right.
You know, gee.
Now,
Anyway,
you did a little snippet. You did a little snippet in JFK that got left out. What happened?
I did. I played, strangely enough, I played Johnny Carson.
You played a Johnny Carson type, or you actually
I played Johnny Carson, although in the film he wasn't called Johnny Carson. They changed the name, I guess, for legal reasons. But in '67, I think it was '67, Garrison came on The Tonight Show, and Carson did an hour with him. And Stone wanted this in the movie as part of the whole scheme of the movie. But the movie was like 4.5 hours long when he finished it, so there was stuff that had to go, and those scenes were not germane to the thrust of the film, so they were cut. He was very nice, so he sent a letter and sent the tape so I could view it if I wanted to. Yeah, fat chance.
How were you?
Yeah, I love sitting down in a dark room and staring at this for, you know, more time than I have to. No, I don't like watching myself. But it was nice to be part of it. It would have been nice to be seen in it.
Yeah.
But it was nice to act with him and act with Kevin.
Well, he had some, yeah, Kevin Bacon was great in there. And,
Kevin Bacon no, wait a minute, come here. I'm not going to defend his acting necessarily. Well, I will defend.
He was great.
I was born and raised in New Orleans.
Who was I talking like there? Where's the guy there? Yeah. But he was great.
Richard Crenna, wasn't it? Was that Richard Crenna?
Richard Crenna when he...
Kevin Bacon had the most authentic New Orleans accent of anybody in the movie.
Right.
He really found it. That part was very good.
The gay New Orleans accent.
Well, there are.
Well, you was a DJ back then in New Orleans.
Yes. Well, not in '63. I mean, not then.
No, but you served some time down there, didn't you? Were you privy to that? That was my favorite part of the movie was the debauchery that went on before all the historical stuff. You know, the parties that Pesci and Tommy Lee would have. God, it seemed like a crazy city, man. Amyl nitrate.
It was just that, you know, it was that way on the heterosexual side of the street as well. I mean, it wasn't indigenous to the homosexual side.
No, but just in that movie, it was so debauched that made me laugh so hard. They were dressed like Mercury, and they had the amyl nitrate. I just said, how is this ever going to get back to Dealey Plaza, for God's sake?
I knew 6'4" guys named Tinkerbell in the French Quarter when I was 19, you know. Cinderella, you know. It is a city that loves to be theatrical, and all of the theater comes out in the streets.
Right.
You know, people are just that way in that town. It's great for that.
I can't imagine you as a DJ. What fresh hell for somebody with your active mind was that like? Did you enjoy it, or was it
No, I think the
nightmare?
Downers kept me pretty dull during those days, so it wasn't... I don't think I over
So that was the
stimulated
downer
anybody.
phase.
Right, it was the free radio phase, you know, mother radio, where you could play, you know, 3 hours of Korean wedding gongs and people would listen to it because when they turned the radio on, you know, break out the bong and break out the FM radio, and that was it for 3 days. So you could do anything.
Was your name actually Johnny Larroquette then?
No, my name was Judas.
Yeah.
I was Judas, and all the other DJs were the apostles, Peter and Paul. And...
Wow, a little cute little theme thing going on.
Well, it was. And I picked Judas just because it seemed most appropriate to my personality.
Mm-hmm. Wow. What a telling thing to reveal to me just as we're about to cut out of this interview.
That's how I timed it.
Beautiful, John. A Garbo-like air of mystery surrounds John Larroquette. Thanks for coming on, Johnny.
You're welcome,
appreciate
Boris.
it, buddy. I'll be right back.
This portion of the Dennis Miller Show is brought to you by Dawn Dishwashing Liquid. It takes grease out of your way.
Crazy crowd tonight. Very Day of the Locust feel here in the studio. Tomorrow night, my guests will be actress Catherine O'Hara, comedian Jeff Cesario, novelist Harry Cruz, and composer Jinkovich von Fruitbat. Once, of course, Jinky's responsible agent, Bud Robinson. My next guest is a Tony Award winner. Our first guest was an Emmy Award winner. Second guest, Tony. Theme show. You may have seen her in the Hotel New Hampshire, the movie, not the hotel, The World According to Garp, and The Fisher King. Please welcome Amanda Plummer. You're okay?
Yeah, I'm right.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Hey, what was it like to have a plumber for a dad? Christ, that was so lame. Thank you for nailing that back at me. I needed that. What a laugh. Huh?
No, I was thinking of when I get nervous when you're at the beginning of your show, you're very funny. And you said that you said this a number of times.
Yeah.
And I think, when I get nervous.
Oh, I'm afraid to ask. Here we go. Yeah.
I go under my dress, like kids when they go, when they meet people.
Uh-huh. Wow.
I saw a kid do that in what? Kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
To a boy. I went, what are you doing? It took me 18 more years to figure that out.
Yeah, that's a big word for kindergarten kids. I was barely cognizant of what paste meant, much less. Now, your parents are both actors, right? And you okay now?
Yeah.
You want to pull your dress up?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, they both were.
Because I have culottes on. Your parents were both actors. What was that like growing up? You didn't see much of them, did you? Or?
No, but they. My mother did something very, very sweet. When I was 7, she called me into her bedroom, and she said, in bed, because she was very tired. I gotta tell you
she doing
something.
Broadway?
That it's Amanda, my dear. I love you, but I'm never around, and I just want you to know that that doesn't mean that I don't love you.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I understand, Mom. I understand. And I did. It's amazing how smart we are then,
Little
in the
kids.
old days.
Did you understand, though?
Yeah, I did.
Really?
I understood. I mean, I think children are...
Yeah, but kids
I
get...
have to understand so much, and then it's the ununderstanding that you have to go through in your older ages, you know, as you grow up, you have to undo that because it's tiring understanding and everything.
Do you have children?
No.
If you have kids, what are you going to do with your acting career? Are you going to remember your being away from your parents as pleasant, or are you going to try to be with your kid more?
Oh, I loved it when they were away.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, what kid wouldn't?
Well, you know, it's fine to have them away for jammy parties and stuff like that, but in the long run, were you a little lonely or no?
Nah.
No, not at all?
It was very self-entertaining.
Yeah, did it help your imagination? No, I must have. You know what's funny is you and Robin were both in the Fisher King together, and I know when Robin was young, he was often left alone with his army men and that, and
his army men?
yeah,
in his head?
Oh, I think I think he. Those two, but the actual little, I think he used to fight these elaborate Kubrick-like battles up in his attic with these little army men, and I was wondering, you guys both had that similar, did you talk about that when you did the film at all?
No, not at all.
I thought I had a reel in there.
I think we knew that anyway.
Really? You hooked up?
I think so, sure.
Kindred spirits?
No, I don't know about that.
But you hooked up.
I love him dearly.
Yeah. We're going to look at a clip here from the film. This is from The Fisher King. Okay. Amanda Plummer. With her
It's a
dress.
little old-fashioned considering what we're about to do.
What are we about to do?
You're walking me home. I think you're a little attracted to me.
Yeah?
And you'll probably want to come upstairs for some coffee.
I don't drink coffee.
And we'll probably have a drink and talk and get to know each other a little bit better, get comfortable. And then you'll sleep over. And in the morning you'll awake and you'll be distant. And you won't be able to stay for breakfast.
First dates in New York are such fun, aren't they?
Especially on the street, yeah.
Yes. Now, you seem to play, you have that sort of quaver in your voice. You play quirky characters, a bit eccentric. Would that be a fair thing to say?
Oh, yes.
What
Thank
character would you
God.
like to play?
Don't you like unusual people?
Yeah, sure I do.
Stories about unusual people? I think everybody thinks they're unusual anyway.
Yeah, well, I didn't mean unusual negatively, obviously.
I know you didn't. But believe me, there are people who do in this business, and I'm dog-eared tired of it all. And I once had somebody say, you're very peculiar for the umpteenth time, so I looked it up, and it was a beautiful word. It meant of my own. It meant, it was preserved. It meant, and I thought, well, you just have to figure out isn't that good? So you have to figure out some other word to insult me by or something.
No, I wasn't looking to insult.
You.
Okay, the word for me then is paranoid. I keep thinking, I don't want to make you feel bad. I keep thinking I'm making you feel bad. Oh, okay.
No, it made me sad when I was younger. And then I said, I always wanted to play the girl next door. There's no such thing. The girl next door is probably more peculiar than I am.
Especially when you live next to an asylum. Now, what would you like to play? You're so delicate. Didn't I read in your notes you were in the Glass Menagerie once?
Yes.
I can see you in that, because you are like a little Fabergé type guest out here. I feel like I have to be delicate with you. No? Well, that little delicato in the voice, I find that very endearing. What's next for you? What are you working on now?
Getting a job.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Want to be my Ed McMahon?
I'd love it.
Can you say, "You are correct, sir"?
You are correct, sir.
So you don't have any film in the pipeline you might want to tell us about?
No.
No? Hey, I met Mercedes the other night. She told me a great story. Is it apocryphal about seeing your mom? Did she ever tell you that story?
Yes.
Isn't that weird?
And I was in the boat.
You were the little baby in the boat?
And the baby in the boat that was sinking. And I remember this.
Mercedes Rowe went to see her mom in a play when she was little, and the moment she looked down at her mom on stage, she knew she wanted to be an actress.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of neat, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Meanwhile, I was sinking.
But now you've plumbed to the surface, Amanda Plummer. And it's nice to meet you.
Nice
Thanks
to
for
meet
coming
you,
on.
too.
Ms. Plummer, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Hitting that wah-wah pedal like Klaus Bormann at the concert for Bangladesh. You know, we've come to my last guest. He must have an award of some kind. Yes, an Emmy Award-winning comedy writer. He starred in Poltergeist before making his mark in the top 10 hit Coach. Craig T. Nelson, please welcome Craig T. Nelson, ladies and gentlemen. You cuffed me around like the young, brash ragamuffin that I am.
And it was easy. It was easy. No resistance at all. Man, what a wimp.
Hey. I want to get on Jerry Van Dyke's bad side. Now, what's the deal? Were you up at the, well, it used to be the Crosby Clam Bake, but now it's the corporate...
AT&T...
Pebble Beach.
Yeah, well, you know more than I do. That's where I was. Up there
How'd
in
you
Monterey.
shoot?
I wasn't very, I didn't play very well. It was, I was humiliated, and it's very... Well, I mean, hey, are there any golfers, I mean, at all? Does anybody... Okay, you know, so...
I'm just trying to set up a rapport here,
Yeah, well-
man. Yeah, I play bad. I'm like 110.
Oh, well, that's it.
You're...
That's what that is.
Jesus. I've got an Emmy, I've got a Tony, I've got an S word and an F word, all in the same show. Yeah. Amanda said the F word.
I thought
she
I
said
heard
she
it.
was in Freudian therapy. No,
No, I just didn't play well, and you know, and there's such beautiful courses, and everything was nice, and the weather was beautiful, and it was a perfect time to do well, and the show's doing so well, and all that, and the people are lining the fairways and all of that, and they're yelling out, "Coach, Coach," and pretty soon you start getting real, you know, I'm starting to feel trapped in that name, you know, I'm not Coach, hey, come on, and I'm yelling back at the people, and then they're...
So it just degenerated.
All the way around, you go back to the hotel and you just sit and have a cappuccino and go, what am I doing? You know, I mean, I don't need this kind of, you know, I start thinking about spirituality and, you know, and think about, well, what is the meaning of life? I mean, this is what golf does to you, you know? It's like, why even bother? I mean, oh, gosh.
Golf
you
in
know?
the Kingdom, Shiva's Irons. Did you ever read that book?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the best book on golf. Unfortunately, no one can attain that state of mind.
Right. You can't zen out to that
You can't
position.
zen. It's not zen in the art of motorcycle maintenance. It's golf, and you got to look good.
Beautiful.
You know, wear a nice outfit and look good.
Hagar slacks. Hey, you better dig.
You know, I'm wearing Armani slacks now. I have to play golf, and I'm thinking, well, at least I'll look good. They'll wave, you know, kind of nicely.
Want that nice break on the golf spikes.
Yeah.
And
Good black and white, you know, looking good shoes, and then you're in the trees, and who cares, you know? It's like,
you just hope they're green slacks at that point.
Yeah.
Hey, but you better dig the Coach thing, because you know what? It's like if you do feel trapped in that, you should dig it now, because you know what always happens in life? You get something you want, and you get that nice hook, and Coach is a nice thing to be calling, hey, Coach, and it's endearing, and then you always think, oh, God, I don't know if I want to be trapped in this, and then years later you look back and you think, God, I should have dug that when I had it, because it was great, right?
Oh, I really love it. It's not that. It's just that...
Well, it's just nice to get to a place where they have a handle on you, right?
I mean, it's like he's sitting on a mountain or something, and I traveled all this way.
Yeah.
You got put a little Vaseline in your hair and just, you know, talk like that.
Oh, man. Yeah. I have been rebuked by Grasshopper. Now, what's the deal over there, Coach? Rob Schneider from our show does it once in a while. What's he play on there? You know Schneidley? Little guy? Copy machine guy? What's he do on your show?
Well, he played Leonard Crailman, who was a...
Leonard Crayola? One of 64 children. G'day! Oh, that's pretty sharp.
Leonard Crailman.
Oh, Crailman. Okay.
Jeez, man. He was a computer expert, and he wanted to be part of the football team, and he couldn't make it. He was like a nerd kind of a guy. And what he could do was like predict how well we were going to do, and he was such a great character for me because I could bounce. And Rob was so quick, and he came up with such great stuff. And now he's famous, so we can't.
You can't get him back. Can't afford him.
I mean, the money is like, hey, Rob, take it easy, dude. Hey.
Not kicking out 10 G's a week for a nerd character.
I'm not making that much. So he's not doing, we tried to get him on the show, but he's so good. And,
too big.
Yeah.
Move on.
He's funny.
Got to take a break. We'll be right back with Craig Nelson. The key is silent.
If you're going to be in Los Angeles and would like to attend a taping of the Dennis Miller Show, please drop us a note. Care of the Dennis Miller Show, Post Office Box 8160, Universal City, California 91608, or call us at 818-506-0043.
With my new best friend, Craig T. Nelson. Hey, now let's get this little clip out of the way so we can, this is from the Coach Show. Any setup for this, Craig? You got a little clip? Uh-oh. Wow.
It's fun to watch backwards.
She's getting married.
Heavy-duty comedy acting right there.
No, you got that nice vibe of it. You got that big gregarious Baloo Jungle Book thing happening, man. You just want to get to know that Hayden character.
Well,
huh?
that was my character study, was the Jungle Book Disney.
And I, of course, would be the little tough-haired Mowgli. Hey, now, I can't believe a big strapping guy like you. I usually think of my covert operatives as more kind of bland-looking than you, but you were once recruited by the CIA. Is that true?
Well, they came to the college I was temporarily visiting. While I was deciding what I really wanted to do, and they said I was in the Air Force ROTC program, and they sent out these little interview things. Come and interview for they called it something. I can't remember exactly. So I went for the interview, and I knew when I got there.
Air America?
No, it wasn't. No, because my father-in-law flew for Air America, so I knew what that was. But this was a covert deal, because there was guys there that were covert people. I mean, you could tell they were asking covert kind of questions. And,
so there was a lot of covertosity there.
Yeah, there was. And I really wanted to major in criminology, so I thought, well, this would be. So I went, and I realized at the time that I was not suited for it. They give you psychological tests and all of that, and I failed it miserably for their requirements. And that's when I decided that I'd go into acting. Plus, I had a lot of pimples and stuff, and I thought, well, I wasn't as tall or as big as I am now. I was only about 5'11". I hadn't reached maturity. Puberty came much later, when I was like 25. So I failed, but it was...
You failed for the CIA because you had pimples?
Pimples, and I answered their questions wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, I was kind of like a liberal kind of person, but again, I was searching in that spiritual kind of journey mode, and they really didn't relate to that much at all.
No. No, but doesn't CIA stand for clear still is available? I did one of those lame, doesn't it stand for jokes, but I was right there with it, wasn't I?
You were very quick.
How'd you get from Arizona to Hollywood now? What happened there?
I went and crop dusted or loaded, and I was a loader, crop duster loader in Arizona there.
Wait, what is a crop duster loader?
Well, you load dusting planes. I mean, God, what am I talking to, an idiot or something?
Listen, I have no background in crop dusting except I know that a crop duster dated the lesbian daughter on Petticoat Junction. Do you remember that?
Okay, well...
You know, and I don't need those 3 girls in the drinking supply at the beginning of the show each night. You know, they're all up in the water tower. She's dating a crop duster. Get out of the water. I want to stay here.
So I loaded biplanes, the Stearmans, full of dust-to-dust lettuce fields with. I mean, man. And then I went to, I was in drama school, and I got out because a guy by the name of Joe St. Dennis said that I was going to be very good, and I didn't know he was gay, and he asked me to come out to L.A., and so I did with my mother and my new wife and my baby, Tiffany.
Was he going to introduce you to big stars?
Big producer people, and I went out there, and he wanted me to stay at his house.
And I'm sure somewhere along the line he would have called you Coach.
There were other people there.
I got to take a commercial. We'll be right back. Great.
This portion of the Dennis Miller Show is brought to you by Afrin Nasal Spray. Afrin, because you shouldn't have to wait to breathe.
We're back with Craig T. Nelson, who I am about to put in a hammerlock and rub his little noggin raw. We put another...
Sure.
We got another show behind us, and we gotta go. Good night, teenagers.
When in Los Angeles, guests of the Dennis Miller Show stay at the St. James Club and Hotel.